Hello and welcome back to Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And as you can see, things have changed between the last video and this one. Namely, the amount of lanes we have for actually transporting goods, and the fact that the train is actually now pushing in a slightly different direction. Now, the reason for this change is that off camera I just wanted to check something, making sure that I can get this working, because if I could not, there was no point in me making a video in it, and I would change out what I was doing and just make something a little bit better. But as you can see, this does actually seem to be working. So in this video, what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to neaten this up. I'll explain how I've managed to get this working after the intro, but I'm going to neaten this up. I'm going to rearrange a few things. I may look at making a separate food factory altogether compared to what we have, and I think I'm going to name this. So I'm going to name this and have this as a very specific type of factory. In fact, by the title you can probably see that. And for those of you who are not from the UK, this may not make too much sense, but for those of you in the UK, knowing that this is called the Weetabix factory is going to be a big deal. And why not? Weetabix is absolutely great. Well, I'm sure there are many people who do not like Weetabix. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to start detailing this properly. We shall get it running, and let's just see what I can do. And of course, there is a lot more still to come from this factory once we start getting food, or grain in this case, wheat specifically, in from other places. Okay, so let's begin. Let me explain what's happened. So one of the things that I noticed was that I could boost the level of this farm to maximum, because what was happening is that it just seemed like this farm was not producing enough. And if I'm just going to start speeding this up, the farm was not producing enough, and therefore the food processing plant was also not producing enough. Having increased the number on the farm, or the level on the farm, I then found I could increase to an amount, as you can see, the level of the food processing plant. All in all, this led to a lot of the food processing plant demanding a lot of goods, and the farm producing a lot of goods. Unfortunately, that then meant that all of these were not able to keep up. In fact, they were struggling to such a point that I was just very confused as to how on earth I was going to do this. And I thought about something. I thought, when we have deliveries, generally in a distribution yard, it doesn't have to go to a single platform. They may be dropping it off at multiple platforms, and if this is going to be specifically for wheat, for example, in this case, why do I not just make lots of pickup platforms and lots of drop-off platforms? And that is exactly what I started doing. Eventually, within about half an hour of me trying this, I ended up with a rough but practical way of doing this. So all of these, I would say, are parts of the Weetabix farm. So that is the first thing that I'm going to do. I'm actually going to, we're not going to call this Shepton Island Farm, we're going to call this Weetabix Grain Transfer. There we go. This is now the Weetabix Grain Transfer route. that's a good colour too. Now obviously we're going to move things around and neaten things up as we go along, but before we do that I would just like to point out, and hopefully this person is watching this video, Thomas Ziegelman. Thank you for your email. This is the first time I've actually received an email apart from a mod developer about one of my videos, and thank you for the idea about push-pull trains and explaining that. I actually have the push-pull, the train shunter mod, which has now got push-pull. I will be looking into a little bit of what you are saying, and I will make an attempt to do something that is somewhat realistic as you have explained. So thank you very much for your thoughtful email and the comment, and I do see your requests, video showcasing every engine you have downloaded for this. I may try that at some point, I'm not sure about that, and unfortunately the London Brighton South Coast Railway ones, I may not be able to do those, but certainly I may attempt to do the showcase for all the engines, all the locomotives. Unfortunately there are a lot, so I may have to try and figure out how I'm going to do that. And also a good suggestion, if I no longer need an engine on service, demoting it to a more suitable service, that does make sense. So I shall endeavour to do that if I remember, but unfortunately no promises on that. When it happens, I may completely forget that this is something I need to do. Anyway, let us get back to that. Again, thank you very much for the comment. Now I have realised that nobody seems to be using this, so I'm just going to delete this exit right now. It makes no difference, although I am going to be moving all of this very soon. And the other thing I do want to do is I want to change all of this to some sort of internal road system instead of these farms. Let's go ahead, oh sorry, these farms, these country roads. Let's go ahead and actually turn them into maybe a two-way. Let's see, no houses required. So, are there any that I could use? Unfortunately not here. Narrow country road. Let's have a look at what these upgrades will do. I'll do it here to start with. This is a good place to experiment. Oh, that's just the same, so that does not really matter. The one I'm really after is... oh, these ones, but obviously, which ones are these? Let's try to find out. Could be any of these. Like, we have so many over here. So, what's this? Medium cobble street with no trees. No. No houses. Hello. But they are not the kind of size I want. None of those. I know it's none of these. See, that is what we had previously. So it's those. None of these. Well, then what could it be? It wouldn't give me one of these, would it? No, it has not. There's got to be a way for me to try and select this to figure out what it is. Is there a way for me to select this? In fact, I probably could. Let's use this and then give me the information about this particular segment. What is it? Does not give me much information. Can anything give me information? In fact, I know something that could give me information on it. If I did that and then went to that lovely parallel tool, it should tell me what it is. If I go to copy, no it doesn't. Although if these are the only streets that I'm using, this should give me an idea. Or not. Alright, well, never mind then. That's a bit of a pain. Let me see. I guess I could. See, that looks like the street, as you can see. It does look like it, but it isn't it. So it's a narrow. Is it this one? Is it this one? No. Now, see, those streets are too big. This street is more reasonable. Now, I doubt houses are going to grow here anyway. So perhaps it is worth me attempting that. Sure. City road. We need a little bit more speed on it. Otherwise, all of these lot are, as I said, doing 6, and that is not going to be ideal. Let's just see how much 6. Yeah, see, that is 6. Now, that is not an ideal speed. Let's make an adjustment there immediately. It's a real shame. I know exactly which one I want. Maybe it just isn't in a group, so I'll just have a look here. Maybe it will show up. One-way road. No. What's that? No. A little better. 2-lane road with it 60 mile per hour. That is a little better, but not what I am after. Not even a wide country road. I want the dark tarmac road. Nope. Does not seem to be available. Okay, well, get street info. Here we go. Tell me what that is. Where would it do it? In the console. Great. Country small new. Okay. That is fine. In that case, what I need to do is I need to change everything to country small old. Thank you. That shall do. So, in that case, I'm going to do this. Just to give it what I need. Now, let's go ahead and continue along this. So, as I said, this is going to become some sort of... I think what I could do is I could have... maybe a bit of an exit here. So what I'll do is I will create... Right now, let us create this road. And I know the road is not quite... it's not quite sitting on the border of the farm, but that is okay. At the moment, I'm not going to. So I could bring it up to there, but I'm not going to do that just yet. What I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to hold it there and connect that there. Okay, so that is now done. Great. The next thing we need to do is I'm thinking of moving. Well, I'm thinking of doing a temporary food factory thing so we can build a proper one. So I'm going to put a temporary food factory in by doing this. Freestyle industry, and we're going to have what do we have here? Input, output, production amount. Let's just go for 900. We'll do 2 in, 1 out, which is the same as that. We'll have grain in and meat out. Yeah, that works. Grain in, food out. I'm just going to put this down for now. I'll put this here so that I can build in this area. So I'll go ahead and do this. And so that should be the same as that. In fact, this one has 900. We'll put that down to 400. There we go. Okay, so it isn't quite as much as this, but that's okay. Now let's see if this starts to do anything. I'm hoping that, but if I destroy this, right, so now everything should start going to this. In fact, it is. There we go. So everything is piling in here, which is great. That is what I want. And then all of this is connected and everything works fine. Now, what I then want to do is I need to smooth this whole section out. So there we go. Just nice and smooth all the way along. And that is a little bit better. We're going to put a fence or some sort of fencing around the entire thing. Now, realistically, I'm just going to have a look at the Weetabix factory. So let's go Weetabix factory. Now I know where it is in the UK, but I want to see some images of it, and they seem to have trees around the side, and obviously they've got all their transport, but they have some trees, they have some parkland, and a few other things. Obviously we have the railway as well. That does not look too shabby. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to place, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to place essentially this is all going to be the Weetabix factory. We could, if we really wanted to, extend onto this side as well, but for now we're just going to stick here. So my plan is to, for now, grab some assets, not those, fence. Just a fence, that's a fence, this is a fence. Now which type of fence would look better? Let me drag a few of these. So I mean that is a fence. What is this fence? I'm not sure about those fences. No. This looks too modern. And that looks too modern, so it's none of those. These look like home fences, so that isn't a thing. Now these fences could work. So you have these ones, which, if I were to do this... Now I'm quite okay with having those. There's also these, there's these. Then of course the ones that I use on the edge of the railway, and then you have these. Now of all of them, I think these ones work the best. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and erase. Goodbye. Go to fence. Pick the fence. And I'm going to build the fence. Now just a little bit away, I would say. So give it a little bit of a verge. And we shall not do that. Bulldoze just that. Do a line there. And we can do this. And just very carefully, slight curve to it, do that, straight line corner. Do I want that to be a little bit closer? I think I could do just about there. I'm using the wrong fence, aren't I? I am as well. Oh, rubbish. Okay, try that again. Fence. Uh-oh. I think I crashed the game. Oh dear. I think I tried to do everything way too quickly, and I was trying to build a fence while trying to demolish a fence, and that has broken the game. Okay, having recovered from the crash, let's go back carefully and go back to fence. This time try not to make a complete hash of it. Here we go. So we begin, as I said, here. I'll try to get this working roughly as close as I can to where I was going to put it. Do that. I think I was going to put a slight curve here, like that. Back into a corner. Oh no, wait. This is where we messed up a little, but I think this is the best I'm going to manage. In fact, I guess I could just do that, really. And then we'll just hop along here. So this is going to be the border for Weetabix. By the way, no promotion here or anything. Other cereals are available. They may not be as good, but other cereals are available. Let's go ahead and do that. And now we're going to run into this problem, but what I'm going to do is just for now, I'm going to say that we are up to essentially just looking for where it needs to build a new one, so we shall stop. In fact, let's just stop right here. So that is where we are going to stop. So that is our initial border for this place. Now, within Weetabix, of course, we can have a few bits and bobs, but one of the things I want to do, which is going to be vital, is, whoa, that's a lot of stuff waiting, goods and food. One of the things I want to do is I want to move the depot, and we're going to have a better and proper depot. So we have two entrances currently into Weetabix, which is perfectly fine. And what I'm going to do is I would like to move the depot just here to start with. So we are going to go for a which road was it? It was one of these roads, wasn't it? So we're going to go up like so. In fact, not quite there. We'll do it out here because I want to fill this area up with trees. So we'll go up like so, and then put the depot in. So I can delete the depot, no problems, and I can add a new depot, buildings, depots. I guess this one. That's a tram depot. That's a tram depot. What? Is this not a road depot? Where's my road depot gone? I thought that was a road depot. Well, here's a road depot. This is a bit of an older road depot in a way, I guess. But no, I want to go for... Here we go. So what I want to do is I want to put a road depot here. Now the only downside to this road depot is that road. So I'm going to try to keep it as close as I can in order to minimise what you see of that road. That is the plan. So there we go. So now it is quite minimal as to what you're seeing. Now what I'm going to do then is we're going to not add any of that. Just going to smooth this out a little. And over here I'm going to try and paint this in a way that you would see as if it was some sort of road depot. So let's go ahead and see what kind of colours we have available to us. Not that. That isn't bad. That is probably better. This is the one. So we're just going to paint that in this fashion, and this is going to be our depot. So we could actually say we're going to park vehicles over here. There we go. And then if I do that, and then very carefully just do that. Perfect. Yes, there's a bit of an uphill to it, but no harm in parking vehicles in that fashion. Again, was it this gravel? No, it wasn't. That's one. Just making sure that all of this is properly covered. There we go. So, now we have a depot and a place to park vehicles. Now I could, I suppose, if we can find it, right, oh no, we're not going to have that as an asset, are we? Maybe? Wait, what's that? Car. No, none of those. None of those whatsoever. Yeah, that isn't going to happen. So we have these warehouses. This could be for later. As you can see, I have started sort of a preparation, so that this is all for the future. We'll have these lovely warehouses, but now is not the future. So that bit is complete. So that runs there, that runs there. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to move this bit, all of this. I need to move this because what I would like to do is I would like to turn this around, have a road here, turn this around. So for now, what I will end up doing is I'm just going to put a temporary stop in. So I'm going to pause this, delete this. It'll say that is fine. I will go freight buildings. We're going to go for a truck station. Very simple, quite big, and I'm just going to place it right there, and that should take the name, and everything should just start going to that. That's the theory. There we go. It is happening. Now what that allows me to do, that allows me to use this area to start building a better one of these. So for that, what I need to do is I need to use the terrain tools once again and just smooth this all out. There we go. That is better. Of course, now we've got the options to smooth all of this out. And we can... How much are you picking up? I mean, you drop off some goods, which is good too. You need to be working harder than that. Or you need to be able to carry more than that. This is one of the things we need to obviously work on increasing, because this is essentially maxed out. So, streets on these, and we shall go. I'm going to say, right. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to design this first, and I think I just used a standard one of those for this, and it just worked, which is a surprise. So I did that. And again, the unfortunate bit is I cannot select what this joining road is. So what did I use? 20 meters or 30? 30. So I used 30 meters. So that tells me it needs to be, and this is the other problem. As you can see, the height is the problem. So if we're going to lower it down, and it's going to be there. So the other thing I need to do is let me continue with this fence. See, there's a lot going on at the same time that I need to do, so please do bear with me. So we'll continue with the fence. There we go. At the moment the fence is there. Well, let's bring the fence and hold the fence there for now. There we go. Okay, good. And then obviously we need the main factory bits, but that is what all of this is for. The only thing I could think of is that they could travel from here, because this is essentially the farm, not this bit. So what I could do is I could move them over here, move that over there. It would make things longer, it would make this a lot busier, but in a sense that would make sense. This is the Weetabix farm as it is. Although I think I don't want to do that. I want to keep this over here. Just saying, as this is the transfer. So what did I say I wanted to do? We need to look at keeping things fairly level. That is our main focus. The only way to do that is to have this somewhat lower down. Not quite that slow. It's at least somewhat lower. So if I had it, for example, let's just place it, have this in the middle and place it, say there. Hold on. Maybe if I do that. Now the big question is, if I just, as a test, I join this to this, will it reach that? It does. So that is good. Because I'm not going to actually join that to that. I'm going to work out something else. Okay. Hang on a moment. Bear with. There we go. Break that. Yes, yes, yes. And then turn that into a straight line. That does stay as a straight line. And do that. Then go ahead and put the building in, which just fits. Like so. click on this, configure. Ah, we could adjust the street access. Yes, we could do that. But if I did that, I doubt this is going to work. Oh, it did. It works. Okay, we have better street access now. That is how you do that. Got it. Then what we need to do is cargo platforms. Here we go. And we can have shed style platforms, which work really nicely in my opinion. Now we have 5 here. And I say 5, I know there are 6, but 1 is actually not in use. So I may try to get all 6 running here though. There we go, that and that, and let's do, this is a bit more than what we currently have, but it's still pretty good. We do not need cranes. Now a covered platform, that could do. Let's go ahead and put a cover on this one and this one. Why can I not break just that module? Interesting. That's okay. That could work. Right. And then this is where it gets more difficult. So obviously we have this very steep uphill bit here, but we should be able to manage this, because if I were to then get rid of this, create a straight line there, create a downwards bit here, that should work. So what I need to do first is create the downward bit. And for that, literally, I'm doing this. Why does that not... You're happy with that? Yep, you're happy with that. Okay, good. Can I do a curly-whirly road? Sort of. There we go. Bit of a curly road. Quite the kind of road I was after, but I can make this work. I can definitely make this work. There we go. And that is not too bad. That is really not too bad. Now what I've got to do is, I'd say, destroy this road. And I suppose that's a little bit there. Leave the T there because we're going to use that later. We will then, what are you picking up? 24, 25, you're getting there. You're certainly getting there. What we are then going to do is, I suppose these are all going to have to be changed as well into those covered kinds. But you, right. Oh, this is going to be bad. Do that, and your standard platform is going to be 8. If you cannot make 8, then all the rest are open to you. That should do the trick. And then we just demolish this. What has happened? Suddenly, everything, absolutely everything has gone wrong. Wait a minute. Go on, go on, go on. Tell me we can do this. There we go. 1 moved. 1 has moved. 2 have gone. 3. There we go. Okay. Good, good, good. I bet you it's this that just fell apart. Okay. What do we want to do here? We've got things going in. Can you turn around? Can you turn around? No. Can you turn around? No. Okay, wait. The problem is caused by you? No, by you. So if I just sell you, there we go. Will that allow movement? That does. That cleared it. Good. Well, I say that cleared it. For some reason there is still some sticking going on. But nothing too bad. Okay, good. That's that bit done. What we then do is... Oh, what is going on here? Platforms... Ah, this is what I mean about certain ones not being used properly. So it looks like that... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ensure that they stop using... right. Stop using platforms 4 and 5. There we go. Just prevent them from using 4 and 5 and that may help. We then go ahead and get rid of this bit and this bit. We suppose smooth out this bit and then connect you to here. So there's a little bit of a dip there. But we could go ahead and grab that and go ahead and lift it up, just lift it up a meter. There we go. That is better. So that now we have a start. What on earth? Again, something has happened here. Why is that your primary? No, that should never ever have been. That is the problem right there. They should have been trying to go all the way to the end, one side or the other, but for some reason they are not. So there we go. That should have sorted, hopefully sorted the issue. I'm not entirely sure. That is still a temporary measure. Now the idea with that is to have, you see the point here is I would like to put one of these in here. Yep, that is what I want to do. So we're going to put this here. Now obviously in the future this would have to change because this would become a much bigger operation. But for now, just go ahead and say, look, we want that there, followed by a one of these, which we will keep pretty low. There we go. Maybe something along those lines, somewhat deep, and then. See over here, that's a little bit too deep, I would say. Okay, that is going to have to be a work in progress. And what I would do is I would say, right, you lot, manage the line, go to here, as opposed to there, and delete that. So now we actually have everything essentially self-contained. So that is good. What we then need to do is work on the placement of the buildings themselves, and obviously then the whole Weetabix thing, we can sort of hide it in the building. All I need to do is I just need to be able to access it. So as long as I can do that, we should be okay. Now, let's have a look at what sort of things we have available. Now that does not look too bad. These are not anything like what we want. Refineries are definitely not going to be it. This could maybe do, I'm not sure. Barns are not the way forward. Quarries are not the way forward. I do need to start looking at these. Quarries are not the way forward. Food. Here we go. This could... Yes, this is the sort of thing that will help. And of course, we have to have silos. So, the only thing I will say is that these look a little flat compared to what we potentially would have, which would be more along the lines of these. This is the kind of thing that's not that. This is the kind of thing I would expect. So I'm actually going to use this as a base. I'm just going to do that and say let's add no. That is not the one we want, so could add, and say if we were to lower this a bit, and I know the ground is not quite level, but I just want to do that, so that shows what we have there. We could probably lift the ground a little on that side. May have to actually. Hold on. Better idea. Let's have it this way. That will work a little better. So we'll have 1, 2, like that. Let's put some silos behind. So, a silo there. Those are a bit small, but no, I'm looking for a much bigger silo. And it's got to be something that looks like it. They just look like they could contain oil or gas. Certainly not grain. Could make these bigger. These are not the right sort of thing. Let's look for grain. There we go. Too big. Too fancy, although that is going to be something in the future. Okay, let's look for some food again. Here we go, we'll just use these silos. So, what I want to do is probably want to hook these silos up to look like they go into smaller silos, but they go into this building. In fact, we could probably put a few. There we go. So we have some silos, we have a couple of the buildings. We still need more. This is a big deal. And then if I did this around the back of it, connect that up like so. I'm not sure what that is supposed to do. This one has a border around it, which is no good. Do not need that, nor that. Is that the same as this? But what is the diff? Ah, that doesn't have a backing. Got it. Let's see what else we have available to us. I doubt we need greenhouses. So we're not not going to look at that. What is all of this? Goods. Ah, yes. This could be useful. Or not. Yes, let's have sugar outside. No, that isn't going to work. Let's just start looking through these to see what we have. Look, we've got these. No connection. No. We could add some of these, but I'm not entirely sure which ones would and would not work here. What's that? Now that is what you call a depot. Great, we need to use that at some point. Industry. Oh, I just want to add a bit of industry design to this. Here we go. This could do. And I am aware this has been a bit of a lengthy episode, but I've got to get it done. Yeah, this isn't what I want, but this could certainly help. So all I need to do is perhaps on this side add something along these lines and say from here, not that, how far can we go with this? Oh, I need a middle bit. Does anyone have the middle bit? Not really. I mean, that is... So obviously we need the Weetabix offices. This could work. This could very much work. How does that look? Ah, we could put that roughly in the middle. And I am aware it looks a bit like a train station, but we do need the Weetabix offices to be here, so we'll do that, and then at the end of it we'll have not that. Oh, that looks pretty good. That actually looks quite good. Can I put that in? Various different buildings. Just want to see how the various different buildings would look. This is obviously going to require a little bit more in the way of work, but I think we are starting to get there. So that bit is done. This bit needs to be redone. How am I going to do this? Keep it flat. I'll figure that out in a moment. What I could then do is I could put the freestyle industry under here and then connect it. So if I were to put the freestyle industry underneath this, again, have it as grain coming in and food coming out, and make that a little wider, perhaps. Actually, do that, and quite a lot longer. That may give us a little bit. There we go. That could be something we can control. We then put a small street along here. In fact, we'll line this up with this nicely. There we go. Turn that in. Like that. Like that. That looks fairly good. So that could be supplied. As I said, apparently that's 1,800. We will put 800 on that. This is 400. If we now demolish this, we are going to lose a bit, but demolish that. Now I hope that this can reach all the way. It does, because obviously this is going to make some of that food to bring over here. That is a start. Now let's go ahead and, as we're getting towards the end of this video, let's put some trees in. Of course we'll put my favourite oak trees around places. Again, I'm just going to click a little bit. And the whole border is going to have a bunch of trees. So we'll go ahead and do that. And keep it a little bit haphazard for now. And I will essentially neaten things later on. All the way along here. And by that I mean I'm going to have to delete individual trees. All the way to that, and obviously we need to figure this bit out. But so I'll bring it all the way around here, and then use these trees to do the same sort of thing. So it does start looking more like an industry as opposed to just. So you can say that this is the first proper industry I've built. I mean, I did do obviously the construction materials plant, but that went a little bit awry, I guess. It has worked sort of, but not too well overall. In fact, I can probably do this. There we go. I use these. Is that what I was using before? It was. Use these. See, now the thing is with this is that it is starting to look like, see, it has been designed to look like an industry, and that is sort of the point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot of gravel in, essentially would say, you know, areas that are maybe not yet constructed, but for future use. So Weetabix are very confident in making it big in this series. There we go. Awesome. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to do this just to give it a bit more depth, I think. There we go. Just need that little bit of depth. Okay, so that is all of that. That looks fairly reasonable. I will paint. Let's find some gravel again. This gravel will do. Can I find anything else? What would they call it? Would they call it asphalt? They would. Which one do we use? There we go. That will do. It's 1900. We are starting to use, or it's almost 1900. We're starting to use asphalt in places. Tarmac. So we'll say this whole area became tarmacked. I'm sure we'll find somewhere to put some grass back in, but this whole area became tarmacked like so. This bit can remain grass. We'll probably place some trees or something on it. In fact, let's go ahead and let's first finish off where the tarmac goes. So we'll say this whole area. There we go. Then we shall place some trees and grass and stuff in. Let's go ahead and ease that up a little. So, we shall have a little grassy area. Let's say, I don't know, since these are the offices, people would come out here, walk here, and they wouldn't probably want to be there, would they? Where would they want to be in, I suppose this area here could be quite useful. So we'll just go ahead and say this whole area up to the railway line. All of this is just grass. I'm sure we can put a little lake in here and whatnot. In fact, I'm going to do that before we end this video. I know this has been a long video, I do apologise. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll put some more trees. These trees really do get annoying, but at least it gives me the sort of border, and then it's a little bit, I guess we've got a little lake here. So if I go ahead and go to terrain tools, make this go pretty low. Straight, yeah, that'll do. There we go. Do that. In fact, it doesn't need to go that low because obviously we have to paint the lake in. So it's not like it's going to be an actual lake sort of thing. So let's go ahead and flatten this to there. So we just have a small lake area, water, green, still stale, ooh, water, still fresh. That will do. Ah, yes, okay, I see the problem. We do need to bring this all up to a specific height. We will have to do that. What's this skin? Let's give it a bit of texture, actually. There we go. Otherwise it's going to look terrible. And then bring this up. So we'll say this is the level. There we go. Perfect. There's the water. I mean, it just gives it a bit of... It just gives it a little bit more depth, and I suppose we could say grass mown. Let's make this quite a strip. Come on. Is that not going to work? Yeah, it is working. Let's make this quite a strict sort of edge for it. There we go. Just a pond that looks a little bit like that. This bit's here perhaps can be fixed up a little. There. And then, oh, I don't know, a couple of more trees. Paint assets tree, here we go. Oh, in fact, forget the oak trees. Let's go for a different type of tree. There we go. It's just annoying, that little bit there is just really annoying. And then if I just do that, there we go. Perfect. I say perfect, it isn't really perfect, but it is certainly looking as though it is something quite serious. For now, to end this video, I'm just going to put some more of these trees around. For goodness sakes, yeah, that's not going to work, is it? I'll do this manually, just to sort of block in this area a little, so I don't want this looking too bare. So I would say this looks a lot better. Also, I've now learnt which trees were the ones that I said in another episode that, oh, I really like those trees. What are they? It's these. These are the trees. Okay, there we go. And would you look at that? That is, for now, the Weetabix factory. It isn't great. I suppose I could place more trees here. Linden tree. Let's just do a bit more of this. Mix in a little, just to maybe for people who are coming here, so that you can see the railway line, but you do not necessarily want to see all of this stuff around here. So we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. And that is, I mean, that is my attempt to create a realistic factory for one. Anyway, this isn't yet at the point where I would say it is perfect, but it is certainly a factory. We could put a road all the way around the perimeter, an internal road, as it were, or we could put a just trying to give it a little bit more in the way of detailing. Perhaps do this with it. Oh, hello. Okay, well, I didn't know that was going to happen. Let's perhaps again build this road, and then that's bit across there. And put some more trees and stuff in just over here. It just looks like a little city, and with this I'm actually going to pause that for a screenshot. Once I get the screenshot, we will play and end the video. So let's how am I going to do this screenshot? Yeah, I think that looks half decent. It isn't the best thing ever, but it looks better than what we had, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but that is where I'm going to end this video. I also realised that my camera thing's in the way for that screenshot, so I'm going to have to move it and take it again. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Obviously, as time goes on, this will get bigger and there'll be more warehouses, but we're saying that this is a large company, but still with room to grow. That's the theory anyway. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ECGadget LP for both Twitter and Instagram. Lastly, do go check out my Discord server. Link to that is also in the description box below. That is all from me. I'm a little bit disappointed about how it has panned out. I wanted a little bit more from this, but that's okay. I'll see you next time in Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series.